Welcome back to my channel. It's Cariel. Today we're going to be talking about my 2020 vision board. If this is your first time here, I make videos about self-growth, productivity, and overall wellness, and the day-to-day life of your favorite island girl. But no shade to Ava Jules because I love her. Before we get into the vision board, I just want to make sure that you guys know that if you haven't seen my 2020 goals video, you should go check that out, because in that video I talk a lot more in depth about all of my goals for 2020, and my vision board is based off of my 2020 goals. So if you haven't seen it yet, that's definitely a video that you should go look at. I'll have it linked right up here and down in the description box. So this is my first vision board ever. I was really excited to make it. The reason why I decided this year to make one for the first time is because I wanted to have something very visual, very in my face, something that would just be a constant reminder that I have these goals that I want to reach. So I actually decided to make my vision board a digital one. I always have my iPad with me, so it only made sense for me to put my vision board as the background on my iPad. That way every day when I open it, it would be the first thing that I would see. Even if it's something that I'm not like actually paying attention to consciously, it would still be there as a reminder. I wanted to keep my vision board very visual, filled with a lot of images instead of words, but I did have a list of words that served as my inspiration for the things that I decided to include on my vision board, the things that I actually wanted to focus on for this year. So I'm going to share that list of words with you guys so that you can see where my inspiration came from. So those words included peace of mind, confidence, stability, good health, both physical and mental strength, resilience, self-care, and fulfilled. I'm just gonna pop over here, that way I can put the vision board up right here and you guys can follow along with me as we talk about it. So like I said, I didn't want to include a lot of words in my vision board, so the only thing that's actually written out on here is 2020, obviously for this year. In the center you can see this doodle that I drew of myself in a yoga or meditation pose, and this for me really represents the peace of mind that I want to have throughout the year. For me, it's a reminder to focus on my mental health and to prioritize things that are important to me, including making times for my hobbies and just other things that will bring me joy on a regular basis. I've already started dedicating more time to intentionally focus on my personal growth this year, and I definitely think that it's something that will benefit me in the long run. I spent 2019 trying out new things that I actually wanted to implement into my life in 2020, and this is definitely something that has become very regular. I spend a lot more time journaling and trying not to focus too much on the negatives, trying not to worry, not to overthink, but still making sure that I reflect and make changes where I need to. I'm trying to be more self-aware of the way that I treat others and myself. I also drew longer hair on this little doodle of myself because my plan is also to grow my hair out back to where it used to be, and hopefully longer by the end of the year. So I mean, I'm already seeing a lot of growth compared to where my hair was before, and you know, we're just praying for more growth out here, so in all aspects of life. Next to the little doodle of myself, I have a picture of my camera, which is the Canon G7X Mark II, and I just wanted it to be a reminder that I needed to be consistent with filming for my YouTube channel. Right below it, I did a quick editing job of my subscriber count, which I put up to 1,000 because, as you guys know, my goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. If you haven't subscribed, this is your reminder to subscribe now. Basically, I just want this be in my face so that every day I'm doing something towards reaching that goal. I have been working on posting twice a week. I post on Mondays and on Fridays, and the schedule has been working out pretty well for me so far. During this month, I wanted to reach 200 subscribers, and I did 2 weeks in advance. That was really exciting for me, and I'm hoping to see some exponential growth in the next couple months, so that by the end of 2020 we will have 1,000 subscribers on this channel, 1,000 of us strong, 1,000 close family members, and yeah, I'm just really excited for this whole YouTube journey. Right above the camera, you guys will see this plant. So the funny thing is that when I was making this vision board, this is like the one thing that I just kind of randomly typed into Google and was like, I need a PNG of a plant, and I just stuck this plant on my vision board. Now maybe a few weeks later, after creating my vision board, this girl was on Instagram advertising that she was selling monsteras, and I was really excited. I went and I got my monstera, and I just happened to like look at my vision board again like later on, and I realized that the picture of the plant that I included included on my vision board was a monstera plant, and it wasn't something that I planned. So I just think it's kind of weird, but also, I mean, it is a pretty popular plant, so, you know, but as you can see, it's right behind me. I'm really grateful to have this plant. As you guys know, Instagram fam knows, I already introduced you guys to my whole plant fiasco. If you've been watching me for a while, you've seen in my vlogs that I've had several plants which do not tend to survive. But my goal is to keep this plant alive. As you can see, she's struggling a little bit behind me. She's a little droopy. I think that's because I had her outside for a while, maybe had a little bit too much sun, and then I might have also, well, I didn't like personally overwater it because I've been following the instructions and watering just once a week on Sundays, but we had a few rainy days and I left it outside for a while, so I think maybe it got overwatered because it was on the porch and the rain got in it, you know. So we're recovering, but we're still going strong. I've been told that monsteras are very hardy plants, so if I kill it, it will actually be because I've completely neglected it, and I don't want to neglect my new baby, so I'm leaving her here inside. I put her up on a box so that she's a little bit more elevated. She's getting indirect sunlight now. She seems to be perking up a bit. I promise you it was worse and I was really sad and very, you know, I was kind of overwhelmed, but things seem to be looking up. So I'll definitely keep you guys updated on my plant journey as well. We're gonna move over now to the left side of this vision board, which is this way for you guys. Where I have a photo of myself exercising. Obviously, this is a reminder to myself that I need to be regular with exercising and just focus more on my physical health. I also want to focus on eating better, which is why I have that picture down below. That's actually a screenshot of a video by Rachel Ama. If you don't know about her, she does a lot of vegan and plant-based meals on YouTube, and I just really like watching her for inspiration, so I have her food here also for inspiration, so that I'm reminded constantly that I need to be filling myself with good, nutritious food. At the beginning of quarantine, I've already told you guys this, I was very consistent with working out and eating pretty well because I was home all the time. I could make all of my meals. But now that I'm back in the office, I've kind of fallen off of that. I started working out in the office a little bit, and that kind of helps, like at the end of my day right before I went home. But just because of how tired I am from being in the office all day, I haven't been cooking the best meals. If I do cook, it's usually just the quickest thing that I can come up with, or I'm just like eating out again. Not like in restaurants, but just getting takeout. So I haven't necessarily been doing the greatest job with this goal, but again, just having the vision board and having everything in my face constantly always gives me that reminder that I need to get back on track. I know that the things that I put on this vision board are pretty like basic things. I think that everyone kind of has these goals, but these are definitely the most important goals from my list of 2020 goals that I really wanted to make sure that I was focusing on this year. All of the other goals, they were kind of like just like things that I want to do, but I think these are things that I really need to do in order to continue my journey of self-growth. A really cool and convenient perk of having a digital vision board is that you can always add to it, and it's not a big fuss about like having to actually find materials to like add to your vision board. It's really easy to go online and find the images that you need, or if you want to make it more personal like I did, you can actually just do all of your own drawings and just add them piece by piece to your vision board. And I think moving forward, that's probably what I'm going to do more if I add to this vision board. And also when I'm creating my vision board for next year, I want to draw most of the elements that I'm going to include in it, so that it's not only just a representation of my goals, but also an avenue for me to express my creativity. Now on to the last element of this vision board. On the bottom right hand side, you'll see a skyline view, floor to ceiling windows. It's just like a generic city. In general, I really miss the city life. I really want to move back to a city, and I want to be able to live there comfortably. I want to find a new job which pays very well so that I can achieve these goals. There's a lot that goes into that last photo. I really wasn't sure how much I was ready to share because a lot of people in my personal life also, they don't really know the full story yet, but I think I'll share it today. Basically, the beginning of this year was a huge struggle for me. If you don't know, I live in Croix, and our refinery on island just reopened again, and we have a lot of contractors. So our housing market kind of exploded because a lot of people from the States are moving down, and they have these huge budgets for housing. So our housing went up and my salary stayed the same, and basically I was paying $9.75 for a 1-bedroom apartment, which is already very expensive for St. Croix, but I justified it because I like the amenities that came with the apartment. Most people, I'm sure, would judge me for paying that much for a 1-bedroom apartment here, but it is what it is. It's what I wanted. I was very happy with my decision. I do not regret living there at all. It was a great time. So I lived there for 2 years and the cost stayed the same because it was locked into my lease. But this year, when it was time for me to renew my lease again, basically I was told with only a month's notice that my rent would be increasing to about $1,300 a month, and I decided that it just was not worth it anymore for me to stay in that apartment. And to be fully honest, 1, I just couldn't really afford it, and 2, I didn't think it was worth it to even ask for help to try to afford it because it was just a 1-bedroom apartment. And my little brother had moved in with me, and even though we had made things pretty comfortable there for the both of us, I just didn't think that the cost really matched the circumstances at that point. So I decided to give up the apartment. So it was my first apartment. I loved it. Again, I have no regrets living there, but it was definitely time to move on. And I also I didn't want to feel dependent anymore, so I really just didn't want to ask for help in that time. I think one thing that I have learned in the past few years is always ask for help when you need it, but you definitely have to kind of pick and choose which circumstances you're gonna ask for help with, and I feel like in that situation it just didn't really make any sense. And now I'm in a much more comfortable situation. I'm able to save a lot more money than I did before, and I'm just hoping for new and better things. So that's why that's a pretty big block of space on my vision board, because my goal really is hopefully at some point, if not this year because I know everything's kind of crazy with the current state of the world, to just find a new job, move to a new place, experience new things, and live comfortably without being dependent on anyone. I'm finding it a little hard to talk about all these things because it's clearly something that I'm going through and still trying to figure out on my own. But I do want to be transparent on my channel because I want you guys to see the growth and to understand why I'm trying to improve myself. But I think, again, on social media, we always see all of the positive parts of people's lives, but we don't really see the behind the scenes, how they got there, or even sometimes things might look good but they're actually not that good. So I just want to be a little bit more open, and hopefully you guys will join me on this journey as I'm honestly just working on trying to become a more well-rounded, independent person. Until then, like I said, I'm going to continue just working on myself, hopefully manifest some growth. So that's all I have to share with you guys today. If you have any more questions about my vision board or anything that I talked about today, let me know down in the comments down below. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel. Like this video if you liked it. Give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!